Carmelite Missionaries, Yesterday and Today. Roots of the Carmelite Order. Our Lady of Carmel. The order was founded by a group of hermits on Mount Carmel in the Holy Land at the end of the 12th century, during the time of the Crusade. Mount Carmel was sacred to the memory of Prophet Elijah, who was the model of the hermits and monks. The hermits grouped themselves around an oratory dedicated to Mary, and they were soon known as the Brothers of Saint Mary of Mount Carmel. Carmel is the first order in the Church to be dedicated to Mary. Mary, revered as the Mother of God, is seen as a model and exemplar for all Carmelites in her prayer and activity. Prophet Elijah. Prophet Elijah, contemplative and a prophet, plays the role of a master who leads the spirit and life of Carmel. Saint Teresa of Jesus and Saint John of the Cross. During the late Middle Ages, the Carmelites faced the important reform of the order. That time, the friars and the nuns were seen to be moving away from the primitive rule, the rule of Saint Albert. God raised up two great reformers, Saint Teresa of Avila and Saint John of the Cross. They restored the life and spirit of the primitive Carmel. Their aim was to search for greater intimacy with God through prayer and a burning zeal for the unity of the Church, recently divided by the Reformation. Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus. In the heart of the Church, my mother, I will be loved, says Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, a young Carmelite of Lisieux, a 20th century saint and doctor of the Church. Her doctrine of spiritual childhood has more to say on the primacy of the love of God, our Father, and the struggle for faith in the modern world. Blessed Francisco Palau, founder of the Carmelite Missionaries. I live and will live for the Church. I live and will die for her. My mission is to announce to the people that you, O Church, are infinitely beautiful and lovable, and to tell them to love you. The heart and the center of the life of Father Francisco Palau is the Church. Father Francisco Palau, infancy and adolescence. Francisco Palau was born in Aitona, Lerida, Spain, the seventh child among 9 brothers and sisters. Francisco Palau lived his infancy with his very devoted parents, and he himself lived a very pious life. Seminary life. In 1828, Francisco Palau entered the seminary of Lerida, and in 1832, he had his clothing in the Discalced Carmelite order. In 1833, he professed solemnly in Barcelona. Life in Carmel. When Francisco Palau was 21, he knew that the Lord had called him for religious life. In 1832, he started his religious life in Carmel and took the name of Francisco of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. He confessed later that he entered religious life because he wanted to search the Beloved in a concrete way, which certainly gave meaning to his life. Priestly ordination. Francisco Palau was ordained priest in Barbastro on April 12, 1836. Exile in France. In 1840, the political crisis arose. Persecution was increasing strongly. Francisco Palau was exiled to France. He lived in a cave. There he continued to live his solitary life alternately with intensive apostolate. Little by little, many people gathered, followed him closely in his apostolate. Then jealousy came up and more persecution. Francisco Palau was back to Spain again. Returned to his country. In 1851, Francisco Palau returned to his country and founded the School of Virtue, which was a new model of catechetical school in the church. That Mary, Mother of Virtue, was the protector of our school. Closure of School of Virtue. In 1854, the politicians aired their complaints against the School of Virtue, so it was closed. Consequently, Francisco Palau was confined in Ibiza for 6 years. Starting anew. From prayer life to missionary life, then from missionary life back to prayer life. For 6 years, Francisco Palau spent his life in Ibiza. He lived a solitary life. He contemplated deeply the mystery of the church. The experience of the mystery of the church in 1860. When Father Francisco Palau was immersed in the apostolate of preaching, the understanding of the church filled his soul like an overflowing dam of water. Finally, he has discovered the church as the final object of his love. He has seen the church infinitely beautiful and lovable in an image of a lady. We realize that to love the church is to practice the commandments of love of God and love of neighbor. From that moment, he worked passionately for the church. Father Francisco Palau performed his apostolate among the alienated people of the church, helping them spiritually and materially. He worked with full dedication as a preacher and as a founder. He fought against anti-religious ideas, helped the mentally ill, epidemic patients, and in the end, his own health deteriorated. In 1872, as a proof that the destiny of a person can be changed according to who is the object of his love, and as he confessed that he loved only God, Father Francisco Palau died, leaving us these words: "My God, you have changed my destiny." History of the Carmelite Missionaries. The Congregation of the Carmelite Missionaries is a pontifical and apostolic congregation founded by Blessed Francisco Palau in Spain in 1860. In 1910, the first mission at Gentes was in Argentina, and at present, there are about 2,000 Carmelite missionaries working in 39 countries. Spirituality. Rooted in the spirituality of Saint Teresa of Jesus, our spirituality is marked by a unique experience of the mystery of the Church that was the center of the interior life of Francisco Palau and the moving force of his apostolate. Apostolates. Christian education, health care, missionary activities, other activities of evangelization, catechetics, promotion of spiritual life. I will go where the glory of God calls me. Carmelite missionaries in the world, 5 continents: Europe, Asia, Africa, America, Oceania. As Carmelite missionaries, we are called to live a deep communion with God. We are called to transmit the good news of the Lord. And in going to the world, we answer to the needs of the Church. We try to be in this world witnesses of one community of believers united by love. We are present in Asia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, India, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia. Africa, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Cameroon, Congo, Malawi, Kenya, Tanzania, Guinea Equatorial. Europe, England, Poland, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Romania, Oceania, Australia, America, Mexico, Canada, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Venezuela, Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Argentina, Chile, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. We Carmelite missionaries hope that the charism entrusted to us by our Father Founder Blessed Francisco Palau will continue to flourish throughout the world for the greater glory of God.